Hi guys, welcome to Bath Fizz and Foam. It's Monday, which means it's time for Make With Me Monday. My name is Robyn Smith. I'm one of the owners of Bath Fizz and Foam. Oh my god, these gloves are sweaty. I was wearing them earlier. I was prepping for this and they're sweaty on the inside. That is, wow, awesome. Today I'm going to show you a couple of things. And actually, I plan on, after the live is done, downloading this video and putting it up on our YouTube, which I haven't done in a while, in the Make With Me Monday playlist, because I also plan on making a blog post about this kind of project, or this type of project that I'm going to be doing today. Karen says, hi. Hi, Karen. So, here's what we have going on. I know I showed you guys, we did a blog post about like how to fix the ruined bath bomb. So I had like the maracas that got ruined. These were also some ones that got kind of, too activated. And so what I've done is I had some pink ones and I had some blue ones. So I've basically broken them up. I'm just going to save that piece so I can have a picture of me breaking it for the blog. And then crushed the little pieces. And then did that for both sides. Now this side was a blue one and it had embeds inside of it, so it actually has like a speckly look to it, which is fine. But yeah, it does have a speckly look to it. So then I just gonna crush this up. Now if you have like a whole bunch of bath bombs that got messed up and you're needing to crush a whole bunch of them, you can put them in, I don't know. I've used like a cheese grater before, especially if they're hard. So these were like soft. If they're like really hard, I've used like a cheese grater before to like grind them down. Tim and Jen says good morning, and Lena says good morning, or afternoon, whatever it is. Hey, yeah, hey guys. Lena says hey. So yeah, if you have a whole bunch of these and it takes a long time, you can use like a cheese grater. I've definitely done that before when the bath bombs are like really hard, but these are pretty soft. And then here's the next step. I have these little tiny shot glasses. So there's lots of things you can do with them, right? You can do this, you can do a bag. You can try and save it like I did with the maracas if it's not too far gone. But like that giraffe had a lot of detail on it and I wasn't interested in it, saving it. Plus there was a test batch anyway, so it's like whatever. But for these, I'm going to put them in these shot glasses. So this is just another way that you can rebatch your stuff, because I know ingredients are expensive and you don't want to be wasting them. So this is just another way that you can rebatch your things. So I'm going to show you how I made those like super straight lines. Super straight. Real quick. I'll show you this. And I already have 6 done. We don't need to do everything, like this entire bowl, because that would probably take like a really long time. It would take a really long time. Nesna says, hello from far, far away. Are we showing you how to save your sanity? I mean, I don't know about that, but yeah, I'm showing you one way you can save bath bombs. So you could weigh them. I'm not going to weigh them because I'm going to pipe WONDERBAR on them anyway. But so what I'm going to do is, I'll just scoot this over. So I'm just going to do 1 scoop of pink. And then I'm going to use another cup. Sorry, it was 2 cups. I'm going to use another cup and just use that to tamp this down so I get that straight line that I want. Okay. And then do a scoop of blue. Tamp it down. If you worked at a coffee shop while you were in college, you totally like I just get espresso vibes from this, like tamping espresso. And then for the top, you can pat it down, you can tamp it down. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna cover it anyway. So I'm gonna do a couple more of those so we have like, a little bit of each one to do. And then you guys can let me know what you think. Have you tried doing these bath bomb shots? If you haven't tried these, I got the idea originally from my friend Jamie Kirby. She had some really cute ones that were rainbow, and I have done some rainbow ones, and they take a long time. 0 stars. Do not recommend. They're cute, but they take forever to do. And if you're a perfectionist, it's not good for your, what's that word we were talking about earlier? Sanity. It's not good for that if you're a perfectionist. But they are still really cute. And then I don't remember how much Jamie used to charge for them. I've charged like $5 for these. This is tiny. Let's see how much it weighs. I have charged $5 for these. Now I'm going to add more things to it, so there's going to be like more added value to it. But still, if you think about it, that is 55 grams or barely 2 ounces. So that is about right, actually, for me, for my cost of goods. But like, we usually charge about $2 an ounce. But you know, it just is going to depend on the size. So you could actually charge more, depending on your cost of goods or what you're adding to it. So I'm planning on adding, how many of you have guessed it? I'm planning on adding WONDERBAR to the top, because you can't do bath bomb shots without adding WONDERBAR to the top, right? Am I right? Oh, Amanda says that they made a live. Huzzah! Welcome to the live. I will, if you guys missed it in the first few minutes, I did say, like, at the beginning of this, I'm going to actually turn this into a blog post to go along with the maracas blog post that we did, where I showed how to save a batch by scraping it and painting it, that one. So this will be to go along with that kind of series about, like, bath bombs suck sometimes. I don't know, like, how else to, I mean, any kind of thing that you do is you're gonna have experience some kind of failure. So it's just making it work for you is the key thing here. But yeah, so this is gonna go with that. So I'm gonna actually do a blog post, and then I'll put this, I will repost this to our YouTube, to the Make With Me Monday section of our YouTube, and then link all of that together. So just letting you know. What are instructions for customers to drop the entire thing with the cup into the tub? So, good question. If you don't add like a bubble, you know, frosting to the top, then yeah, you would say just drop the whole cup into the bathtub. And if you've never tried doing a bath bomb in a cup, let me tell you, you should just try it for yourself, because I don't know how to describe it, but it is like a lot of fun. So it kind of depends on how tightly it's packed in there, but like you dip it down, and then it starts activating at the top, and then you kind of like pour it out a little bit, and you dip it again, and it keeps like foaming, and it's like, it's mesmerizing for one thing. I have ADHD, so that could be part of it, because it's like something shiny almost. But also it's just like really, I don't know, it's really fun even for adults. So I know that kids like it. Like, if you've ever had kids, if you have kids, if you have grandkids, whatever, their favorite toys are almost always cups, because they're in the tub like doing this thing, pouring the water in and out, and you paid like all this money for bath toys, and they want cups. So kids like it, number one, but then adults also seem to really enjoy it. So yes, if you don't add the bubble frosting, you can just say just dump it in the tub. If you do have bubble frosting, you can also just dump it in the tub, or you can hold it under the running water until the bubble bath melts, which won't take very long, because it's only going to be, it's not going to be enough bubble bath to like make bubbles. This is mostly there for decoration, right? This little dollop of WONDERBAR that we're going to be putting on top, that's really only there for decoration. So it's not going to make a lot of bubbles, but they can hold it under the water until it's dissolved, and then dunk it, or they can dunk the whole thing. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, and I would keep going until that was empty, but do you really wanna sit there for that whole entire time? Because that's a lot, because we have more to do. Okay, so then the next thing we're gonna do is, I have WONDERBAR here, here, in this Mixa. I have WONDERBAR, which is our favorite solid bubble bath recipe. Sarah is asking, where did I find the clear cups? I believe I got those on Amazon. You can get all different types of cups on Amazon. It might have been, I'm pretty sure it's Amazon. I like don't go to the store. I would say like the dollar store, but like I don't go to the store at all these days. Like I needed poppy seeds, and I still haven't gotten them yet because I don't want to go to the store. But it also feels like the ultimate like act of laziness to just order it on Amazon. So like I haven't gotten the poppy seeds yet. That's the cycle of procrastination, where it's like I need to get the thing, but I don't want to take the steps involved to get the thing. So then I'll just do nothing, because that's an easier journey for me. Okay, I'm thinking for colors, I know this is kind of boring, but I was just thinking white. Because we have purple, we have blue. I could try to match the purple and blue, but they're not really gonna match. I could try to do 2 colors, but I don't really want to do that. So I was thinking of just doing white, because then I have, so let me know what you think about that, because then I also have, all this cute glitter from the Good Glitter Company picked out, that we could pick some of this glitter. So that might be cute, because if it's white, then you could still put glitter on it. And you could put glitter on it if it's not white, but we could put glitter on it. Then I also have these little mermaid tails we could stick into the frosting. So I don't know. But I'm thinking white. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Or if I should go for a color on this. I don't know. I can't decide. Gosh. I hate it when I can't decide something. Okay, so this is a single batch of WONDERBAR, and I'm just gonna split it in half to be, wait, hold on. I can't do that in my head. It's like, it's an odd number. Don't you hate odd numbers? Okay. All right, I can do that. Okay, 441. That's what I'm gonna do. And as always, I'm not really looking for, especially with WONDERBAR, when you're piping it, I'm not really looking for a specific amount of rubbing alcohol that I'm gonna add to it. Rubbing alcohol is our processing agent, so I'm not really gonna, like, we have a suggested amount in the recipe, but that's suggested based off what works for us. You may need a little bit more. If you need like a ton more, like twice or 3 times what we're suggesting, you can try adding just 5 extra grams of glycerin, and we found that people who are in really, really dry areas, that can make a huge difference for them. So there's, you know, there's that. But okay, I have people commenting on the color. White would be a nice contrast. That's what I'm thinking. Karen says, what about do it with color and some white and glitter and the tails? I don't have color and white. Definitely white. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with white. And Alexandra says BubbleBar is not your friend. Oh my gosh. Trust me, BubbleBar is not my friend, like, for ages. It was not my friend. That's actually why Amanda came up with the WONDERBAR recipe, because when we were initially planning we did our first bubble boot camp. And then after the bubble boot camp, I was like, by the way, like, that BubbleBar is never really gonna dry for me. Like, it's fun and all, but like, it's just not gonna dry for me because it's too humid here. So even with my dehumidifier on right now, it's 65% humidity in here. Now part of that's because I've been opening the door back and forth, but my humidity is just really high. And so BubbleBars would always be like squishy for me, and could not get them to be solid. I couldn't get them to scoop. If I could get them to scoop, and they would never dry. Like, I just had so many issues with them. And so then Amanda went away, and like literally within, I think, a week, I brought WONDERBAR, and she was like, test this out, see how it does. It worked great for me, and it was literally a game changer, because I was never able to have bubble bars before that. And like, rolled bubble bars like this are cool, but I really like just having like that kind of accent, like a dollop, like having a waffle and having like a dollop of bubble bar on it, and then just, you know, doing like a little thing on, I don't know, I just wanted it to be like cute. I don't necessarily need it to make huge bubbles, but anyway, I would say if you had problems with bubble bar, I would give WONDERBAR a shot. Just see, it's worth a shot, I'm just saying. Okay, so here's basically what we would call like our first texture. You could scoop this, you could press this, but I'm gonna keep going and keep adding our rubbing alcohol. And we do have a video that shows you like how to recognize the different textures of WONDERBAR, so that you're not having to like measure it all the time. I am gonna go ahead and add, when it's at this stage, I just realized I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add some white mica just to help brighten it up a little bit. It stays pretty white for me, but the fragrance oil that I use today is a Fruit Loops fragrance oil, and it doesn't discolor a whole lot, but it just does like tiny bit. And so I want this to I want to make sure this is bright white. So I'm gonna. And the thing about having two different bath bombs that made this is two different fragrances. So I chose Fruit Loops because the pink bath bomb was fragranced in Fruit Loops, so it has that, it's the strongest of the two. I could have left it unscented if I wanted to, but yeah. Okay, so this is the first texture where I think that people stop, because we say like, oh, it should look like frosting, and this kind of looks like frosting, but say it with me. Where's the people? Where my church at? Say it with me. Mashed potatoes, bad. Okay, this is not frosting. This is mashed potatoes. We want to take it a little further. We want to take it a little further past this point to get it to where it's perfect for piping. I'm going to scrape down the sides a little bit to make sure there's no good bits up there that need to get mixed in. And oh, Alexander says you do have the recipe, but the piping, the consistency to pipe is what you need, and you can't ever get it to pipe out. Okay, so if you can't ever get it to pipe out, you can always try, like I said, adding just a little bit more glycerin, see if that helps you. Like if you live in a dry environment, do you live in a dry atmosphere? You live in a dry environment. Okay, but what we're looking for, whoa, sorry, that was louder, is we're looking for it to get smooth. We want it to be smooth and creamy. And this could probably use a little bit more, but it is probably ready. So like my beater just goes through it. Like there's no resistance. My beater just goes straight through it. And I'm gonna add a little bit more just to show you, because I say this, like you almost can't add too much rubbing alcohol. So I think that's the thing, is like people are afraid they're gonna add too much rubbing alcohol, and by the time you've added too much rubbing alcohol, like you'll know it. Like you'll know it because it'll start to look like soup. Like it's almost impossible to get to that point though. And so here it is again. It's like when I pick it up, it just falls straight off my beater. There's no like peaks or anything like that when I turn it to the side. And that's the texture that we want. So I'm gonna put this in a piping bag. Yeah. Whoops. Okay. So I have my piping bag right here. I have this cute little tip picked out. It is a Wilton 32. Should be cute. Mashed potatoes bad. Mashed potatoes bad. Okay. So here we go. And I probably could have used a smaller piping bag because I don't need all this room. But this was the one that I grabbed. So this is the one that we're using. And let us use this thing so I can put the frosting in it without having to hold the bag and make a ginormous mess, which I'm prone to do. Okay. And so, okay, so I'm gonna scrape this. Now, if I was like making multiple colors, which you can go back and watch the other Make With Me Mondays. I have done ones where I did multiple colors. And you can see that sometimes when I'm doing the multiple colors, the colors between each thing, you know, will maybe dry out a little bit, and sometimes I have to add a little bit more rubbing alcohol. But if, say, you add too much rubbing alcohol, somehow you manage to get there, which, like, that's an achievement that you have unlocked. Congratulations. If you manage to get there and you add too much, you can just let it sit out open for a day or two until it, you know, just depends on how much too much you put in. But you can just let it sit out until all that rubbing alcohol evaporates, and then you can use the mix again. And in fact, we have found that when you master batch the mix, which I'll include a link to that article that we wrote about, that blog post that we wrote about that, when you master batch the mix, you actually get an even smoother piping texture than what I have today. So, just saying. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do right before I pipe these, because this powder is kind of loose, is I'm just going to lightly spray the tops of all of them. That will help. Number one, it'll form like a kind of a crust. So if there is a little bit of the bath bomb that isn't covered up by bubble frosting, okay, that kind of crust, which is a terrible word, I'm sorry, but it will kind of keep it from falling out of the cup all over the place. And then the other thing that that does is it helps it stick to the frosting a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, and Alexander's asking spray it with what? This is 91% rubbing alcohol. So you just wanna make sure that you spray it with something that won't actually cause the bath bombs to react, but just causes it to react just enough. I don't think it needs sprinkles. I don't think it needs, oh my gosh, I don't think it needs a freaking mermaid tail. You know what it needs. You know what it needs. Let me, hold on. Hold the train. Hold on. This is what it needs. Okay? Straws. Need straws. Am I right? Straws. Okay, so we're going to take the straw. I think it needs straws. I'm going to take the straw. I'm going to cut it. I'm just going to put, oh my God. Oh, stop. Be still my heart. Okay, I'm going to make the straw a little bit smaller because I still think that was a little bit big for it. You can buy 1 pack of paper straws and it can last you like literally forever if you're just doing these, because you're just putting, oh my goodness. It's so cute. I want to just eat it. Don't eat it though. Don't eat it. Another one. Oh my gosh. So cute. I don't know why I'm talking to it like it's a puppy. It's just like so stinking cute to me. Okay, so then the other thing is, when I pipe, I do a center point. I do a little part in the center, and then I'm going to go around that and keep working my way up Ta-da! In our very first boot camp, I did a whole bunch of instructions, classes or whatever about how to pipe. We did piping flowers. We did all kinds of things with piping. So if you're interested in that, and more like instructions on piping, you can definitely check that out if you're interested in that. But if you just need to know how to do that little thing, you can just do that. And it's so cute. And we did a bunch of bath bomb shots for our blog. I don't remember when. But I don't think that we did one where you're using rebatch to it. So you can always use rebatch like this. And to me, this is one of the cutest ways that you can do rebatch. I mean, it's not as easy as this. This is easier. But this is cuter. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, look how cute it is. Okay. And also look at how smooth that piped WONDERBAR is. Can I get an amen? It's very smooth. So if you're piping it and it's coming out and the edges are all cracked and stuff like that, then maybe you can always squeeze it out of the bag, put it back in your mixer, and add some more rubbing alcohol to it. That's always an option. You know, even if it's gotten, even if it's been on the bath bomb before, I've done that before, and I'm sure in other lives, where I've scraped it just off the bath bomb or whatever. So yeah, and then somebody said to put a strawberry sprinkle on top. Yes, so you could totally use the cosmetic bath sprinkle recipe and make a cute sprinkle to go on top that way. I'm kind of sad that I'm not using this glitter from the Good Glitter Company. But I will include a link to that if you guys are interested in that. So if you wanted to add glitter to yours, the Good Glitter Company is, they have very like biodegradable, eco-friendly glitters. So they are, what's the word? They don't pay us, but they send us stuff free. What is that called? That thing. Yeah, they send us stuff free, but that's because we like their stuff. So we actually took a lot of time to, like, when they approached us and asked if we wanted to work with them and pimp their stuff. I don't know another word. Pimp their stuff. What is the word I'm looking for? Anyway, so cute, I want to die. We actually took like a lot of time to look into the company and make sure that they were legit and okay and cool. And they've actually over time started to kind of improve some of their stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'll just shut up about that. And here's one more. He's so cute. OMGs. I need one more straw to sacrifice. And see, this is a short one. Affiliate. Oh my God. Thank you. Tim and Jen. Affiliate. That's the word I'm looking for. We're affiliates. I'm sure they're like, we're terrible affiliates because we almost never talk about them, but I will talk about them today. I do like them. I just don't use it very much. Okay. Look how good that looks. And somebody said, do I have an example of them wrapped? And if I shrink wrap them, will the heat melt the frosting? The heat will not melt the frosting. I don't have an example of them wrapped right now, but I can post an example of them wrapped eventually once that's ready. But probably what I'll do is I have some little cellophane bags that have a base inside of them. So instead of just being like a cellophane bag that has, hold on. I'll just show you. Hold on. Okay. So I have these little cellophane bags. It has a little tiny paper insert that acts as a base. So I'll probably put them inside there, and then I'll just fold it down and staple it closed, and then put a little label on it like that. You could just shrink wrap the whole thing, which I have done before, if you wanted to do that, and the heat will not melt the frosting. Actually, I think it was on our face-to-face Friday last week, literally like 3 days ago, but it's like my brain just doesn't know. I think I did a whole thing about, I know I did it, but I'm just thinking it was probably Friday, where I did a whole thing about wrapping, and I showed wrapping WONDERBAR and using a heat gun and how it's cool. It won't melt it, it won't crush it, any of those things. Okay. Other people trying to help me out with the word affiliate. I just can't. Okay, so you could also dust mica on top. Yes. So it could be like the powder that they put on top of coffee. You could do like sprinkles. If I did, so say I wanted to add, let's just take this off. We'll do one, and we'll just see how I like it. So say I wanted to do this one, and I wanted to put some of this glitter on it. What I would do is I lightly sprayed it with rubbing alcohol, only because I made, like, if I'm going to do sprinkles on it, I want to do it as soon as I piped it, as soon as it's out of the bag, which I didn't do. So I lightly sprayed it with rubbing alcohol to help it stick to it a little bit better. And then I could, oh my gosh, my hands are sweaty. It's so hot here. Even in, okay, just kidding. I won't tell you what the temperature is in here. It's like 68 degrees. It's not that hot, but I'm hot. I'm working. Okay. Maybe these do need, maybe these do need that. I might just be wrong. I might be completely freaking wrong, and these do need that. Shut the front door. Should we add sprinkles to everything? I think we should. Deanna says, where did I find the bags with the bases? I like the sprinkles. We're doing that. Or glitter, whatever it is. This glitter blend is called Cake from the Good Glitter Company, and I will include a link to that if you guys are interested in it. Where did I get the bags with the bases? Probably Amazon. Whenever I have packaging that's in like a small amount like this, a lot of times I get it from Amazon because I just want to test and see, like, is that the right size that I need before I go to Paper Mart or SKS Packaging, which are the two main places that I get a lot of my packaging and boxes and bags and stuff like that from. So if I want to test out the size first and see, a lot of times first I'll just order it on Amazon so I can make sure before I order it from SKS or Paper Mart, because I can order from there in bulk. So it kind of depends on how much you need and if you're just fishing for packaging, because I think if you've been in the industry long enough, you know what I'm talking about when I say fishing for packaging. But like, it's like fishing for fragrances, where it's like you buy it because you're just hoping that you might like it, but you can't really tell until it gets to you. So probably Amazon. I would have to go back and look at my purchases, but I probably had them for ages and I just don't use them that often. But yeah. Okay, so I think that we can all agree that with the so cute now. So cute. So yeah. And if I hadn't liked it, then I would have just had one like that. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. I think that's pretty much it for today, guys, though. If you have questions, make sure that you put it in the comments and I will go back and answer your questions. And then, like I said, I plan on doing a blog post with this exact project. Like, as soon as this is over, I'm going to upload this, upload the links, and then turn around and use the other half that I have sitting over there to make a whole nother batch of these, so I can take pictures of it, so I can put it up as a blog post for you guys in the next day or so. So if you have questions that I missed, or if you're like you didn't understand something I said, or I didn't address it, whatever, maybe the blog post will handle that for you or me, because I try. But Facebook doesn't always notify me when somebody tags me or asks me a question. So I try to catch as many as I can, but sometimes people just slip through the cracks and I don't see them. Edith says, have I tried shipping these? Do they ship without damage? Yeah, they can ship without damage. The best thing to do is to make sure that you use lots of bubble wrap, and I used to use a lot of like, what is it? Tissue paper. So I'd wrap everything in tissue paper and bubble wrap and anything like that. Does the glitter disintegrate in the water? Yeah, so the Good Glitter Company, they have, so this is their eco-friendly glitter, or eco or bio glitter. Okay, bio glitter. So this is one of the few glitters that will actually biodegrade in the water. And you can look at their website. They have some stuff on their website about it. They do have some that still have aluminum, but they're slowly phasing those out. So when they first approached Amanda and I about being affiliates, there's that word, some people told us, like, hey, you know that their glitters have aluminums in them. So we asked them about it, and we kind of waited, and we saw their response was a really good response, and they said, like, hey, yeah, we've been trying to make the change and we're transitioning. And then over a couple months we kind of kept an eye on them, and they really did. They've been taking steps to slowly continue to transition from less glitters that have aluminum to more that are 100% biodegradable. The things eat it outside when it's in the thing. That happens, and this is one of those. And you can kind of tell based off like how it iridesces. So this is one of those that does that. So it's not quite as like high shine as like a true glitter, but if it makes Mother Earth happy, it makes me happy. So that's all. I think that those are all the questions that you guys have. Thanks for hanging out with me today on this Make With Me Monday. And as always, happy making.